The Lord said, "Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and the things you have prepared, whose will they be?" Luke chapter 12, verse 20. According to the materialistic culture, this rich man is considered a proactive thinker. He was strategically planning the management of the proceeds of the prosperous business year he had. But in the gospel, God called him fool, which means lacking wisdom. This man was intelligent according to the worldly ways of thinking, but certainly he was foolish in the eyes of God. In the eyes of God, he was lacking wisdom. And he was lacking wisdom because he did not seriously believe in the eternal life. He did not plan any serious preparation for his eternal life. He was fool because he was content with the pleasures of this life, the earthly life. He was fool because he did not desire to obtain the blessedness of the eternity. Any form whatsoever of philosophy, any form of culture that does not alert people about their eternal life, about their eternity, any form of that is an atheistic, is a dangerous culture. It is sad for a prudent businessman to build a huge earthly wealth, a wealth that cannot help him after his death, yet to fail to plan for the eternal future of his soul. The rich man of this parable, the parable of the gospel today, represents all the followers of atheism, the atheism of materialism. This type of atheism is camouflaged atheism. It is dangerous to the soul. It accepts God only in an exterior form, but it keeps him out of man's heart, out of man's real inner life. It puts an outer benevolent form for show of purpose only. In reality, even its actions of charity are not performed to truly please God. Rather, they are done for personal gratification. This philosophy, the culture of camouflaged, disguised atheism, does not concern itself with glorifying God through man's life. It is more concerned with the justifying of itself in the name of God. It has a visible expression of piety. Inwardly, though, it worships its own will. More importantly, its destruction does not become obvious until it's too late, as was the case in the parable today. This man discovered how far he was gone from God on the night that his soul was asked of him. Disguised atheism is a dangerous, hidden illness of the soul. It advances quietly, slowly, and it devours the soul. When this illness is finally detected, it's too late to do anything to prevent the death it brings upon the soul. Not putting real trust in God, is one of the signs that indicates the existence of this disguised atheism. Trusting only in oneself, trusting only in the human planning, trusting in the limited human logic, limited human understanding, are all signs that reveal the secret work of this hidden illness within the soul. This atheism impacts various forms, various elements and aspects of our life. It is at work in the field of medicine, education, art, science, finance, business, and even in the world of recreational activities. It keeps God out of them, and it keeps God out of every aspect of human life. This atheism is a blasphemous way of living. It limits people's care and attention to focus only on transient needs. It discourages people from caring for their eternity. It does not encourage people to prepare for the moment of their death and departure from this life. Neglecting the eternity should be an unthinkable option. It is an utmost form of foolishness to disregard preparing for the eternity, for the eternal fate of the soul. How unwise it is to care for earthly planning, such as retirement and health care, and to neglect that element. The Bible says, remember the end of your life, and you will never sin. Sirach chapter 7, verse 36. Sadly, many followers of this atheism can be religious people. They serve in religious ministries. They attend religious services regularly. Yet, they don't realize that they are under the grip of this form of atheism. Working out our salvation every day to reclaim our divine citizenship in heaven. We have a citizenship in heaven that we lost, and we have to work every day to reclaim it. And this is the most sacred duty. Earthly wealth enable man to acquire everything they want or they desire. But heavenly wealth enables man to enter the blessedness of the eternity. This is the meaning of what Jesus said. so is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Storing up a true treasure with God does not secure only the eternity. It makes the person flawless even during their life upon the earth. In this way, the society can be more in harmony when people do the will of God. Storing up treasure for God is a challenging task. It requires earnest desire, it requires patience, it requires diligent seeking, it requires faith in the existence of the eternity. When wealth of God is increased inside man's soul, it's manifested in his joy, manifested in his happiness, in the tranquility he has. Every person who is enriched with divine blessings in his soul will make room for other people in his heart, even for bad people. He will receive the gift of humility, calmness, and quietude from God. This treasure is very much worth struggling for. It's very much worth sacrificing for. Ignoring this divine revelation by Jesus Christ is dangerous. It's reckless. It will lead to a similar fate as was the case of the rich man. It is wisdom, it's very wise to work diligently to achieve not to be locked out of the heavenly kingdom. Thinking about the eternity and obtaining this wealth empowers virtuous life out of true desire. This is the medicine to be protected against doing evil things is this treasure. Remembrance of death is our best teacher. It makes every person, the person abstain from every action that is damaging to their soul. So, if each person remembers death a little bit more, there will be less confusion in our lives on personal level as well as on the level of the society. Thank you very much.